Okay, so first off, hi. Little bit about me before we get started. So my name is Zak Parrish. I work for Epic Games. And my job at Epic is actually to go around to studios who are using the Unreal Engine, which is the technology that actually powers Fortnite. And I help other companies, other game studios, make their video games, which is actually what brings me to the UK today. So I wanted to drop by and talk to you all about the potential, if you're interested, in maybe getting into the games industry yourselves. You've all played a video game, yeah? Everybody played a video game at least once? Some of you maybe earlier today, some of you maybe right now. Who would like to maybe make games someday? So the good news is it has never been easier to get into video games than it is right now. The tools you need to make them are free to you. They're easily accessible. There's tons of training online. It's never been like this before. Unfortunately, I hate to admit, I'm actually kind of old. And when I first started getting into this, it wasn't like this. It was actually very hard to get into games. You'd have to find some very expensive school way out in the middle of nowhere, which would probably require you to fly to a whole different country and sign a whole lot of paperwork and pay a whole lot of money so that when you got done, you'd be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And it's not really like that way anymore. You can learn this stuff right now. If you wanted to, you could probably go home and make a game tonight. So to kind of give you a little bit of grounding on where things are, so I'm going to start off by showing a quick video of a game you might have heard of. The Season 6 trailer. So cool. Hopefully one or two of you have played a round or two of Fortnite. I'm horrible at that game. If I see you online, I'm very easy to kill. So real quick, who in the room has played Fortnite on a PC? Okay, just a few of you. A lot of you are on console. If you're on a computer, this is the Fortnite Launcher. You've probably seen it once or twice. But did you know that right at the top of it, there's a tab for the Unreal Engine right next door? You can click on this, and this is actually the exact same system we use to make Fortnite. We give you the whole thing for free. It includes the entire source code. It includes a ton of training materials. There are entire projects that you can download to get started. Like I said, you could go home and make a game tonight if you wanted to. And we'll do a quick thing here in a few minutes. We'll actually build a couple of little video game pieces just for the fun of it. So this is what it looks like. It's just a 3D environment tool, and it allows you to build out worlds, to build out game logic. But there's so much more to it than games. Like, why would anybody want to do this? The first thing, and I think my points might be a little out of order, right? Because they sound like, oh, the games industry is expanding. Of course it is. The games industry it's very successful right now. Makes a lot of money. More and more people are playing games every day. You're finding them on mobile phones all over the place. I have a Switch. I carry it with me wherever I go. Games are everywhere. But more importantly, it's just a fun career. I go to work, and I basically have fun until they kick me out because they have to clean the building, and then I go back the next day. It's a lot of fun to make games. It's competitive. It's very stressful. It can be a lot of hard work at times. But you have to have fun to make games that are fun. Now, the neat thing about it, though, is that it's a lot more than just games. This is a small selection of other companies that are using the Unreal Engine to do their business. And you might recognize a few things. There's like BMW and other one like Porsche should be on there. Tesla's on there. All these big names in the automotive and aerospace industry that are using real-time graphics. Literally, the Unreal Engine, this video game engine that powers Fortnite, is being used to visualize and show the world in ways that it hasn't been before. So now you can get a job in architecture, or you can get a job designing cars or spaceships, and do it all using video game technology. It's a really bright future, and it's very fun to get into. So how do you actually go through the motions? How do you learn about this? Well, the Unreal Engine Launcher that I just showed you, which you can download from unrealengine.com, has got a huge selection of example content that you can download, really high-end stuff that you can dig through, see how we did it. There are corresponding videos online that you can watch that'll teach you how to do them yourselves. We have a deep, robust documentation system at docs.unrealengine.com. It's basically the help file, which I know nobody wants to read it, but it is pretty cool and it's very helpful. We have deep forums. We actually have a vast community of other people who want to make games, who are actually there to help you, and they're very helpful. They'll talk you through how to build whatever it is you want to build. And recently, we actually opened our own online learning classroom at academy.unrealengine.com. This is totally free. You can go there and you can go through structured classes to teach you how to make video games or to do high-end visualization for architecture or industrial design. And nothing like that has ever really been available before now. You're such a lucky generation. There's also some Udemy classes, if you want to check those out. They cost a little bit of money, but they're really not much in the grand scheme of things. Back when I was learning this, that would have been like 500 or 600, pounds. I'm American. So just some kind of closing points. In most cities, there are some game dev communities, and there are several around here as well. There's also online communities you can get in touch with to start developing some friends and some contacts to maybe make games with them or learn from them. There are game jams that you can join, like the Global Game Jam, which takes place every year, where people from all over the world get together and make their own games. And there are dozens of universities across the UK that teach game development, so you don't even really have to go far from home to learn about all this. So I got the PowerPoint stuff out of the way quick, because I'm terrible at PowerPoint, and I usually think it's kind of boring. So what I want to do now is jump over to the Unreal Engine. I think I have to put it on a different monitor. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can do this. Oh, this is going to be so creepy. I'm using this on a computer that's really far away. All right. So this is the Unreal Editor, right? So we have a little environment. This is actually a test project that comes with the engine that you can launch at any time and build. And all this is a little first-person shooter template. So I can jump in, and I can run around, and I can shoot tennis balls at things and knock them over. Now that's quick, it's easy. It was really easy to make this. It was just like a couple of clicks. And what I want to do is show you how you can use the engine to very quickly and easily make edits to this to rebuild it kind of in your own image. So let's take a look at how this works. So here at the bottom of the screen, I'm going to try to do it over my shoulder. This might actually work. So here we are looking at the different parts that make this game up. And one of the most important things inside of all of Unreal Engine are these things called blueprints. And a blueprint is essentially a piece of video game logic that has been defined with nodes and connections. I'll show it to you. Oh, I got to drag this over from the other window. So hang on. I need like music when I do this. Like do 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 do. I'm sorry, that's terrible music. I'm sorry. All right, careful. Perfect. All right. So here is what a blueprint looks like under the hood. It's really just a series of boxes and wires, but it defines video game logic without the need to have to go in and write a whole bunch of programming, which is great for people like me, because I'm not a programmer at all. I'm terrible at that. It scares me, and I don't want to do it. But this is like programming with Lego brick. You could build an entire game. In fact, we did build entire games out of this. Now, I don't know how many of you are into VR, but a couple of years back, Epic released a game called Robo Recall for the Oculus. Anybody hear that? Okay, a couple of people. That's cool. So that game was built entirely in this system. We didn't even really use programmers that much. A bunch of visual people and some designers and artists all got together and built all of the logic just like this. And we can actually take a look at what this is doing. So what we're looking at is the graph that defines the tennis balls that we're shooting into the world. And here we've got, you probably can't read it from back there. I'll read it to you and do my best. So we have this event called hit. So when we hit something, what are we doing? We're doing a quick test and saying, is it simulating physics? If so, apply an impulse at it, which means push it around. That's really all this is doing. And if we play the game one more time, get my mouse over on the screen. So if we play, when I shoot, notice when I hit physics objects, things that actually are simulating, I can push them around. So my code, my script, is actually working. So let's modify this. Let's make it a little more interesting. Oh. Sorry, I'm not used to using a monitor that's across the room. Okay, so what we'll do is, first off, let's make it so that as the ball, let's make the ball explode. Things that explode are usually more fun than things that don't explode. So what we'll do is let's set up a quick timer. I'll start off by creating an event called begin play. Begin play is kind of a special timed moment. Essentially, this says the moment this projectile enters the world, something's going to happen. And what are we going to do? Well, let's give it a little bit like a delay. Let's make it wait for a moment. So I'll just right-click and I'll type delay. There we go, and we'll create a delay node, and we'll just plug this in. And just like this, technically, we're programming right now. So let's give it a duration. Let's say 1.5 seconds. And what do we want it to do after 1.5 seconds? Well, let's spawn an explosion. So I'll type spawn, and we will spawn an emitter at a given location. Now, I already have an explosion in mind here, so let me just look up the effect that I want, because it's big and it's pretty, and it was already made for me. Cool, so all we're saying is, we're going to, the moment we enter the world, we'll wait 1.5 seconds, and then we'll spawn an explosion. But it wants a little bit of information. It says, hey, where do you want that explosion to take place? No problem. All we need to know is where our little grenade or our little tennis ball is. So over here in my components, here is the sphere that actually defines my little projectile. That is the ball that makes my tennis ball. We'll get a reference to it, and we'll say, hey, what is your location? And we'll get its world location. We'll plug it into the location point. Cool. That's just going to spawn an explosion at the location of the ball after a second and a half. And the last thing we'll do is we'll say, hey, cool, now you've spawned an explosion. You shouldn't exist anymore. So we'll right-click and say, destroy. So literally telling this little tennis ball to no longer exist. So unless I've done something horrible, this should just work. Let's go back over to our level, if I can find my mouse cursor, which is over on the other screen. Aha. So we can play this right inside the editor, and now, there we go. This is my laptop, thank you. Come on, bam. So now, instead of just a little cutesy tennis ball, in fact, it's flying around a little too quick. I'm going to slow it down real fast, just so we have a cooler example and it's a little easier to see. So let's go back over to our tennis ball, and here is his projectile data. So this literally controls how fast he flies around in the scene. I'll grab his initial speed, and we'll just pull this down to something like 1,500. So that's pretty easy. And let's try this again. By the way, this is literally what my day is like at work. Let's just make things blow up. There you go. So just like that, in a couple of minutes, with just a couple of mouse clicks, knowing just a few tools, I was able to put something together very quickly and easily and just have fun with it. And that's really the heart of game development, is that you can take something that is already very technical and make it fun and make it easy, and you can do a lot of things with it. You can go into gaming, you can go into aerospace, into architecture. You have a lot of opportunities in front of you. Thank you all very much for having me, and I'll see you around.